Hello everyone! It's Heikala here. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is going to be a colored ink live demo, and I'm going to also be answering some questions that you may have about art and stuff, and talk a little bit about myself. I hope you can also see my hand. Hello! I see there are a lot of people, at least in the live chat. I can see you. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on this painting today. We're gonna hopefully have fun. I hope you have had a nice weekend with LBX and have had the chance to see some live streams. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. I am very nervous and very excited. It's so nerve-wracking, but yeah, I think I'm gonna just start painting something. And if you have some questions, I will do my best to try and answer them. I think I'll do a bit of an introduction first for those of you who have no idea who I am. I'm Heikala. I'm an artist from Finland. I create paintings, mostly with colored inks nowadays. Sometimes I have also made illustrations with watercolors, but the past 4 or 5 years I've been only focused on making paintings with colored inks. Yeah, I'm from Oulu, Finland, and I think I'm just gonna see what kind of questions you have. It's so weird babbling to yourself because I can't hear any of you. It would be so nice to hear someone ask me these questions. But yeah, do you speak Finnish? Yes, I speak Finnish. Mä puhun suomea erittäin paljon paremmin kuin mitä mä puhun englantia. I speak Finnish a lot better than I do speak English. But I'm trying to get better at speaking English. Like it's a lot easier for me to write English. It's a bit more intimidating to speak it. What pen or ink do you use? I'm gonna show you what kind of ink I use in a second. I'm just gonna put this detail over here. The inks that I use are these colored inks from Rua Unklinga. I'm not sure if that's the right way to say it. I'm just gonna zoom in a bit so you can see. This brand, these are really nice. I love them. I've been using them for 3 years now. Can you put the name of the materials in the description box? I can do that later on. Right now, I think I'm gonna concentrate on the painting. I think I'm gonna talk about this painting for just a second. So this is actually a kind of old, based on a kind of old sketch that I have. It's in one of my self-published sketchbooks. I really didn't have an idea what to do during the live stream, and when I checked my old sketchbooks, I found this a sketch for this piece of a character looking into an abandoned building with a lot of flowers and greenery inside, and I thought that would be a nice thing to do to show you guys. As you can see, I usually start my paintings from the upper left corner, since I'm right-handed. These inks dry pretty fast, but I just don't want to make the mistake of putting my hand on top of the wet ink. So I usually try to avoid going there as much as possible. And questions aren't you worried about the UV fading due to the working with the inks? No, not really. The inks that I use, most of the colors, like most of the tones that I have pretty good light resistance, like UV resistance. I haven't really thought about it, and if I would be putting a painting into frames, I would maybe use an artist glass anyway, so it would have like an UV protection, so I don't really mind. Most of my originals do tend to just go to my drawers, and I never, because I don't, recently I haven't sold any of my originals, so they're just there waiting in the shadows. So they won't at least get damaged by the sunlight. How long will I be streaming today? I think I'm only gonna be streaming for an hour. It depends a bit on how much I have batteries left in my camera. Because I usually only have like an hour worth of batteries, but if I feel like going on for longer, we can maybe try switching the batteries midway. I'm not sure if it will cut the stream. We will try maybe that. I'm really nervous still. This is so weird and new. Like talking to myself. Actually, I'm just gonna zoom out a bit so you can see also. Usually when I start out making paintings, I tend to mix the paints a lot. So if you can't see it, it's gonna look like I'm not doing anything. I'm trying to do a lot here. My mixing palette. Since this foliage is like a bit of a different shape, I think I'm gonna do it in a different color than these. These are a bit more like yellowish green, so I think I'm gonna put some bluish tones there. Turquoise. Many of you are asking where I get my inspiration from. I watch a lot of anime, of course, and I'm inspired by nature. I do have like a lot of arts books which I go for inspiration. But yeah, Studio Ghibli is also like a big inspiration to me. This is be a bit lighter. I'm trying to make it so it seems like there is light coming from the window. So I'm gonna make these lower leaves a bit more lighter than the ones up top. When I'm painting, I usually, after I'm done with the line art, I usually take a picture of it and make a thumbnail with Procreate on iPad to test what kind of colors I want to make. See if I can put that on the screen here. So you can see I have this like a guide for myself, so I know which colors basically to put in. I usually make it like really fast, so I might end up differentiating at some places, but that is what I usually do. Darker there. I don't know how many of you know a lot about colored inks, but I get a lot of comments on Instagram, like people assume that I use watercolors. So those of you who are familiar with watercolors might be a bit confused how I start with like dark tones. I have some light tones, yeah, laid out, but with colored inks, once I've laid them down like this is already dry. So even if I go over the top with water, it's not gonna lift off. I love colored inks for that. Of course, it also means if you made something too dark or you have the wrong tone, you have messed up basically, and there's no way to get it off the paper. But it's something that I have gotten used to, and I just really like that I can work in whatever way I like. I also took some questions from Instagram. I might get to those later. Sorry for being so blunt, but will you be selling this piece done? I actually am not sure. If I really like it, then maybe not. But if it's something that I feel comfortable letting go, then maybe. Because when I'm working on a piece, I might not know how much I end up liking it. I usually, when I have named the piece and have posted it online and see what people think about it, I maybe then start thinking myself, do I love this work as much? What's your favorite Studio Ghibli movie? What is it? It's Over the Poppy Hill, I think. Is that the... I'm not sure. I watched them in Japanese and I only know the Finnish names. But I think it's Up on the Poppy Hill. I think it's Up on the Poppy Hill, maybe. I really like the atmosphere in that movie. Where do you get your ideas from? What's your ideation process before you start painting? When I start painting, I think everything is already laid out in my head. But when I start sketching, I usually I have a lot of art books which I look for inspiration. I also get very inspired by other people's art. and yeah, I think I am mostly inspired by just art in general. I might see another person's artwork on Twitter or Instagram and feel like, oh, these colors are so nice, but these would work on something completely different. Or I see a picture of a certain subject matter and there might be something in the background which like strikes my inspiration, and I might think of something completely different. And when it comes to getting inspired by like different, how can I say it? When I do like story-driven art, like this one, when there is a certain like story behind the painting, I either like combine fun things, like maybe I really like witches, so how can I portray witches in a way that someone else hasn't yet done? I also like exploring things in that are like in a different size or scale. Like I love painting nature, but I would like to, I often do illustrations where there are characters which are really tiny in a really big blown out environment. That's one of my favorite things to do. And also placing people in places they shouldn't be at, like in a pool upside down, just standing there. Can you hear me all right? I hope you can. How do you get out of a creative block? I get out of a creative block. Ah, that's so hard. Because I feel like for the past 2 years I've been in a bit of a slump in the amount I can produce work. I think I was doing a lot more work 2 or 3 years ago. It might be just my imagination, but I think I might be in a bit of a slump now. But that's okay. I think having an art block is just natural. It goes away, or it might not go away, but I think it's closely connected to, at least for me, having an art block is closely connected to me not being like motivated to work, not as much as not having inspiration. Usually I just get inspired when I just go to work and start thinking of ideas, but it's more of that hard to get motivated to make art, which is sometimes difficult. But seeing other people doing amazing things, like just people making their dreams come true, or reading a piece of fiction which makes me think, oh my god, I want to do something like this. That is what gets me motivated, and sometimes I just watch a video or read something which, like, instantly I feel like, oh my god, this is so great, and I just need to go back to my work desk and start drawing. Yeah. Are your mother and father artists? No, my dad works at a paper factory. He's like not a construction worker, but something to do with something like that. And my mom was in IT. But they, ever since I was little, they were very supportive of me making art. I'm like incredibly lucky in that sense that I had parents who always believed in me and wanted me to pursue art as a career if I wanted. Maybe this could be a bit lighter. When the ink is still a bit wet, you can lift it a little bit. But I don't mind it being like this. I'm gonna make the background a bit darker so it will look lighter eventually. I wonder if I should do some other spot. Not sure if this is boring for you. I'm just gonna quickly check. Can I see? Oh, there are 1,000 people watching. That's so cool. There are 1,000 of you. Wow, I didn't even have the chance to see how many there are. There are so many. Thank you. Thank you for coming to see me. See me draw, paint. Let's see. I'm actually going to show you how I mix. I think I'm next gonna do the tree trunk here. I want it to be a bit brown, a bit purple. I think I'm gonna need to mix some more colors. Whenever I mix colors, I have this like test paper, which is the exact same paper as I have laid out here. So, because papers that I use, some of them are a bit more yellowish, I want to use the exact same kind so I can see what will the color look in the painting. I think I'm gonna need to highlight. I don't think we are going to go. We are going to get so far with the painting, but I hope you'll enjoy just ramble on about it. Because making paintings is very time consuming. I think this painting is gonna take at least 5 more hours to do. If you have some questions, I would. How do you keep the pre-mixed paints from drying out in the palette? Actually, I don't. They are gonna dry out eventually, but I have a mixing palette. This is a porcelain mixing palette. I have one other which I'm gonna lay on top, or I'm gonna put saran wrap on top so it doesn't dry out so much. The edges are going to dry, which is a bit sad because they will start flaking and then you'll have flakes in your painting. But I usually mix just as much as I can use and just rest. Throw away, sadly. Violet so I can do color washes on top of the. I hope you can hear me all right. At least no one is complaining about the sound quality. Sometimes I get questions if I mess up sometimes when painting, and definitely I mess up. Right now, there it went over the line, but I don't mind. It's gonna be really like dark color over here, so I can hide my mistakes well. so I don't mind. I really like how a brown and purple go well together, so I'm gonna lay some brown and then purple and have them mixed together. Looks really nice, in my opinion. And I think I'm not trying to go for a nice even wash for this tree, because I think it's gonna look a bit nicer if there's some texture in here, so I'm just gonna let it dry a bit. More ink on top. I think I'm gonna lift some of this. And if I make mistakes that are too hard for even me to handle, I'm just gonna use maybe poster color on top to hide the mistake. I don't really feel like it's cheating if you put some gouache or poster color on top. I usually do it anyway. I think I'm gonna have like those like dust particles floating around in this piece, so I'm gonna be using poster color most likely anyway. Actually, it would have been maybe nice to use some masking fluid in this piece, but it takes so long to dry, so I wouldn't have like the opportunity to maybe work on this. And if I hadn't done it in the stream, then you'd be confused because you couldn't see something of the pattern. Like maybe I should have put it in the window, but then you wouldn't have seen the character at all. I think I'm just gonna be careful. There's a piano music in the background? Oh yeah, we got it working. That's nice. I thought we weren't going to have that, but it's nice. I think it's gonna bring some nice taste to this. It's total quiet out here. Can't hear the music. Let's see. Oh, does ink apply more like watercolor or gouache? Ink applies more like watercolor. It's very similar to watercolor in that sense. It's also it's not opaque like poster color and gouache are opaque, so you can lay them on top of each other. Like you can lay light tones on top of dark tones and make those dark tones disappear. But you can't do that with colored inks or watercolors. So if I lay something here that is super dark, I'm not gonna be able to lift it or put a lighter color on top. Can you mix inks with water? Yes, I am mixing these inks just with water. I can actually show you soon how I do that. But yeah, they are water soluble until they dry out, then there's no way of lifting them. I have not tried lifting them with alcohol, but that might work, that might not work. I'm not sure. actually have my palette full at the moment. I'm not gonna need this tone anymore. I think I'm gonna make another tone of green. Sorry, my water is a bit murky at the moment. Green already. I'm gonna need to go that out. But yeah, I hope you can see. I think I'm not gonna be able to camera out, but you see it in the corner. I'm gonna make a tone of maybe maybe I like blue. So I just drop some of the ink in there into the water. I just place it there, mix it. Drop off. Oh, that's actually pretty nice. I think I'm gonna put a bit more yellow. Do you color everything in one layer? No, I actually work in layers. After like this tree and these foliages are not done yet, I think I'm gonna add some shadow. I'm actually gonna show you here because I didn't prepare anything for this, but this is my color sheet. I'm gonna show you with the green I just made. You can see like this brown here. If I wanted to make a shadow for this brown, I might lay this green shade on top. So you can layer some color on top of this. I rarely do green shadows. I usually do purple shadows or blue shadows. Like this. Here's a nice purple shadow. So yeah, you can layer them on top of each other quite easily, but at some point I think it's more to do with the paper, not the inks. You can't layer on forever. It might not more. If you have like 4 or 5 layers, it's not gonna do anything for you anymore. How old are you? I'm 28 at the moment. Hello, I was wondering, how do you keep the quality of your traditional drawing when you scan it? Do you edit the colors of your artwork before printing it? Yes, I do some editing. The scanner I use is this old Epson Workforce 7515, if I remember correctly. It's an A3 printer slash scanner. I use it for all of my works because my works are usually bigger than A4. I scan them as TIFF formats and then do some light editing in Photoshop. I think I'm so afraid I'm gonna smudge this because this is still not dry. I wouldn't want to use my hairdryer. It's gonna be an awful sound. But I usually use a hairdryer to make this quicker. I think I'm gonna finish the up top. What are your own personal favorite artwork? I think actually my personal favorite is already quite an old piece from me. It's the piece called Submerged. I think it's from 2017 or 18. It has a character watching fish swim by. looks like they're in an aquarium, but maybe not, because there are fish also behind them, so like they are among fish. That's really, I don't know if it's like a personal piece for me, but I do like that piece a lot. Is Hegela your name or your nickname? It's a nickname, it's not my real name. It's a derivative from my last name. Oh my god, yeah, here's my here's the piece I was talking about. This is the original. I really like it even now. I'm not sure when I made this, but I think it's at least 3 years old. I think this has been made with watercolors, actually. See it? Okay. Yeah. This is my personal favorite. Am I really quiet? I'm sorry. I'll try to speak louder. I'm also, I think I'm shifting my head from place to place. So you might not hear me when I'm turning the wrong way. Sorry. I'll try to be louder. Sometimes even I don't know where I'm supposed to put the paint in. There's like really small details. I might make a mistake and put paint where it doesn't belong. But that's okay. This is gonna be like really dark up here. I really like how the brown looks with purple. It's one of my favorite color combos. I don't know, purple is really nice. I think I should do the drapes. What do you use, cold press or hot press paper? I use cold press paper almost exclusively. I like how it is a bit more grainy in its texture. It also holds water a bit better in my opinion, and it's I can make a lot more layers on top of cold pressed paper compared to hot pressed paper. My waters are all murky now, that's okay. What's your advice to striving artists and those who are self-taught, who did not enroll to art school? Self-taught. It's really hard for me to say because I'm really bad at studying things on my own, because you have to be really diligent to do that. My education background is in, like I went to an art high school, but I also went to art-oriented elementary school. I think it's called elementary school. From grades 3 to 9, I had the chance to make like more art than like in regular elementary school. But in university, my studies were in graphic design. So I didn't go to like an art university. It was an art university, but my studies were mostly in graphic design, maybe some instances of illustration making, but really rarely. I'm gonna need but yeah, I don't think it's really hard. Nowadays it's a lot easier to be self-taught, like study by yourself making art, because there are so many good resources online. But you have to be just really diligent and do that work every day. And it might be hard if you're not in a like an art school environment. But I wouldn't say that art school is at all necessary. I appreciate all the time that I had in art school. Our community was so nice, and I learned so much, a ton of things. But it's hard for me to recommend going to art school, because I know most of my followers are from the US, and education there is so expensive, so very expensive. And here in Finland, I got my university education and all of my education for free. So I don't know. I think there are some things here. For some, this is the first time they're hearing my voice. Hello! I hope you can hear me, because I might not be speaking to the mic all the time, because my phone is out of the frame, so I need to go there often to see your questions and what you're talking about. Are your illustrations your full-time work, or is it something you do on the side? Making paintings, my own paintings, is my full-time job. It's been my full-time job for I think I started my own business in 2016, so it's been 4 years now trying to make living as an illustrator. Sometimes succeeding, other times it's been pretty hard. But fortunately, I already started making like this my own illustrations and paintings and posting them online when I was in school. So I had the advantage of making merch for artist alleys and such when I was still in school and didn't really have to worry about my finances. Okay, it's been a long time since I've touched the painting. I think I'm just really scared to put anything in it. I'm gonna do it now. When I was 2 or 3 paintings ago, I had this epiphany about magenta and black together make this really nice tone of like a purplish. I really like it. It looks really nice. And this is only gonna be the base. It's not gonna look like that. I might put some orange or brown on top of it, so it's gonna blending nice. This is the base. I think this is the color of the thing when there's no shadows at all. How did you grow your Instagram to 1 million followers? Wow. I think actually I had this question also on my Instagram, how to gain followers on social media, which is a really nice question. I think most artists do often answer this, and it's post frequently and post consistently. But my advice on top of that would be to make something that no one else is making at that time. And what I mean by that is, from my own experience, about 3 years ago, I started making these process videos, which were they were like, I need to do so. Sorry about that. I just heard my voice on echo and it was a bit annoying. But yeah, about 3 years ago, I started making process videos of my painting process. And the thing that I did was that I made these videos which were not, what's the word? They were not sped up, but they were real-time footage of me painting and edited into 1-minute videos. And that was something that nobody else was doing, or I didn't know if anyone else was doing that at the time, because that was something that gained me a lot of eyes for my work. Because mostly what people were doing then, artists, they were making speed paints. Whether they were working on traditionally or digitally, it was always speed paints. And I guess seeing the work coming together in small snippets in real time was something that people really enjoyed to see. And it was, at least for me, speed paints are a bit hectic to look at. I really don't know what's going on, maybe. So showing the process in small snippets over a minute was something that I did, and people liked it, and somehow people shared my work, not only on Instagram but everywhere else, and that's how I got a lot of followers really fast. But when I started doing that, I think I already had a substantial following. When I started posting things on Instagram, I think I already had a Tumblr. There weren't many people there. But I was going to conventions in Finland and selling prints of my works and maybe something else, like screen printed tote bags and stuff like that. And I had some fans already in those conventions. And those people wanted to follow me also online. And I think what started for me was with those conventions. Those people that wanted to see my work there, wanted to see it also online, and they followed me, and then it kind of grew from there.